Yo, he's got a big butt there. What is happening? That flute is giving me life. This sounds very theatrical. It is. I love the lighting and everything. Oh, that's cool. I really love this so much. This is honestly one of my favorite endings that I have maybe ever seen. Honestly, I don't have enough praise for this. Hi guys, and welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to be returning finally to Dr. Stone. It's been a very long time. I don't even know how much time it's been since I checked out the openings. I know that I said in comment sections and stuff that I would check out the endings. I didn't expect it to take this long, but we are here today. We are checking out the endings for Dr. Stone, as well as the most recent opening for, I think the series is now Future Science, and the ending for it as well. So I think the format this video will take is that I will first check out the 5 endings for Dr. Stone, and then I will check out the opening for Future Science and then the ending for Future Science. So the 6th video in this video will be an opening actually, but yeah, I'm just really excited to dive right back into this world. I feel like it's been so long that I've forgotten most of the theories and kind of analysis that I might have done in that video where I checked out the openings, so I'll be really interested to see if I can remember anything, pick up on anything again, or come up with anything new. So I'm really excited. You guys seem to be really enthusiastic about these endings. Some of you said that you preferred the endings over the openings, so let's dive right into this, see what we get. If you guys enjoy, please like and subscribe if you haven't already, and comment down below letting me know your favorite ending from this list, and your favorite opening, of course. Now that there's a new opening, maybe that's your new favorite, so let me know your favorite opening and ending for Dr. Stone, and let's go, let's dive straight into this. Dr. Stone, here we go. Ooh. I really love the chill sort of vibe. That like slappy guitar. It's really fun. I don't know what I was expecting, but it was not this kind of sound, but I'm really here for it. Oh shit! Oh hell yeah! Oh, that art! The filter that's being used. Very cool. Rocket? Are we going to the moon? Sunflower. Oh shit. I'm guessing this is art from the manga because this looks really good. He's running off. Oh, he's running off to everyone else. Oh, that was so good. Honestly, it's kind of crazy that this was the first ending for Dr. Stone, because this is really good, this is really memorable, and this is a really just nice, chill kind of way to end an episode. I think that as an ending, this is very effective. I would imagine that this is one that really just wraps up an episode perfectly. I imagine that some episodes kind of leave off in these cliffhangers or these kind of crazy moments, and then this ending really just helps to ground you again before you maybe get into the next episode, or you have to wait an entire week for the episode coming next if you were watching this as it was airing. I love the manga look of the characters when it was showing them. Funny enough, obviously not relevant to these endings at all, but I have been reading The Martial King as it has been releasing. There was a chapter actually released today. I have not yet read it. I will probably read it as soon as I finish recording this. And obviously The Martial King is a work being done by Boichi, who did the artwork for Dr. Stone, and the artwork for Dr. Stone is incredible. It's so good, it's so detailed, and it's just honestly incredible. And I just love any excuse to see manga artists work in openings or endings. Like we saw it in endings for Dungeon Meshi, where there was, I think it was new original artwork that was done for the endings by the manga creator for that series. And I just love marveling and just staring at manga artwork. It is always such a joy, especially within like series like this, because it's such a treat, and it really is a huge credit to the team that produced the series, Dr. Stone the anime, because the character designs I feel like are translated very, very well in this series. I feel like they did a great job translating those designs to animation from what I've seen anyway. So a huge credit to the team that produced that, honestly. The way that this ending started with our main character, I can't remember his name, is it Tenchu? So I looked it up and it's Senku. So I was close. So Senku staring out into space. I think I theorized that something happened in the world and suddenly it's kind of like humanity was set back because everyone's kind of like primitive, you know, their clothing and their hunting tools and stuff at the beginning of the openings. But then by the time they get to the final opening that I checked out, they were going to the moon and shit. So they obviously have developed all this technology themselves. It's almost like the world was reset back to like nature taking over, but somehow humanity was able to just advance themselves like really fast because they had really smart minds still at play. And I remember seeing a lot of people covered in stone, so I don't know what the whole deal with stone is, but obviously, you know, humanity was probably turned to stone and only a select few remained. The way these scenes were done, where it had this really crazy filter over the world and stuff, I think was really effective, because this series is one that is trying to sell us on the concept of potentially, I know I don't actually know the series, but the concept of the world that we know it being set back, and seeing then modern people going about in a modern world, technology and stuff like that, and then seeing what we see it by the end of this ending is very effective, because it's showing that this kind of imagery, having this really hazy, I would almost say like sponge arty filter over it, it's kind of maybe how the humans that are remaining remember times like these, where it's got this filter over it, it's hard to remember, it's kind of fuzzy, and it doesn't altogether seem real because of what they're currently experiencing. Of course, I'd be remiss not to talk about this song as well. I love this song. I think honestly this song is going to be one that I add to my Spotify playlist. I just really love that kind of chill downbeat vibe to it. I was going to say at the beginning, when we heard the singer's voice, like around, where was it, here? Right there, like that filter that's being used over the voice was reminding me of Gorillaz a lot, actually. They do tend to use a filter like that over certain songs, but I think that hearing it here with the instrumentation, the strings and the kind of slappy beat, and then the drum just kind of like faintly there, but kind of like also in your face. It's a weird way to describe it, I know, but it's just how it was feeling. But then hearing that cut away for this, so good. It's very catchy, it's very memorable, and I love the flow that he held throughout this entire track, throughout the rapping section. And yeah, this was a really great start to this ending showcase. This honestly like an incredible ending. I really love this a lot, and I'm excited to see what we get next in the next one. So here we go. We're just going to dive right into the next ending number 2. Here we go, Dr. Stone. Let's go. Ooh. Oh, this art it's so pretty. It's so cute. Ooh. This one's really jazzy sounding almost. I love the look of this so much. He just looks so angry with those big dark lines around his eyes, and then they're red. Is this baby Senku building? And his eye becomes full of stars. Aww. It's so cute. What the hell? Ah, his father, the moon? perhaps? I think I theorized that in an opening. Wow, that was adorable. That was pretty. That was honestly incredible. That was so perfect. This is like honestly almost like a perfect ending for a series. I would be so happy hearing this. Like, I just love a good downbeat ending for a series. I do love the occasional, you know, ending that gets me hyped and stuff. Like, right now, my obsession is Helix Styx. Styx Helix, the first ending for ReZero. I've been listening to that song a lot. My favorite ending of 2024 was Burning from Oshinoko, and obviously those are not the kind of songs I'm talking about here, but this kind of ending song right here is just... oh, it's great. And the visuals accompanying this are so pretty. I really think that this is one of the most unique looking endings I've seen in quite a while, actually. And we start that off immediately with this kind of reach. And I don't know what it is about this, but the background, the way it looks, was kind of reminding me of Black Clover. I guess it had a lot of filters kind of like this. But then the hands were reminding me of... strangely enough, it's kind of like a really strange pull, especially when I've checked out as many anime openings and endings that I have at this point. But it was reminding me of the opening for Kaiba, which I checked out so long ago that I almost had forgotten about it, honestly. Like, but seeing an image like this with the hands, the way it looks and everything, and reaching, it's reminded me of Kaiba for some reason. I know it's nothing like that, but yeah, that's just kind of what I was feeling in the moments there. And then we see Senku with, I can only imagine this is his father. And I know when I was checking out the openings, I was struggling, I think, to figure out who this guy was, because we saw him like a decent bit towards the end of the openings, like the final 2 or 3. We started seeing this guy, astronaut it looked like, and the fact then that it's showing him with his father staring out at these stars, and I think that that's telling us that it's his father who got him interested in science, it's his father who got him interested in technology, all of this stuff, you know, the looking up to the stars, because we saw that in the previous ending as well. He was lying down looking up at the stars. We see that a lot in this this ending. Sorry, I feel like I keep saying ending, but they're looking up at the moon together. That's what they're looking up at, and that's important because I'll talk about that in a little bit. But then we see all these space shuttle satellites and everything, and a telescope, and then of course we see little Senku in his little baby lab just building all this stuff, doing all this research, and he's just an absolute beast when it comes to like building things. It looks like he's just an engineer as well as a scientist. He's just like really multi-talented, it would seem, when it comes to this kind of stuff, doing his own research and tests and everything. And then when he looks up through the telescope towards the moon, this little sequence right here is honestly kind of breathtaking. Like the way he looks out, and I was commenting right before this about his eyes, you know, looking kind of like evil almost, where he's looking up and then suddenly the stars take over. You know, he's looking up and he is absolutely blinded by the stars, the beauty of it, and just everything that it encompasses. And so then that leads to him in the modern day that we know, the modern day that looks very prehistoric and primitive, where he's lying down, and we know it's the kind of modern time that the main series showcases, because he's wearing this kind of garb that I'm used to seeing him, at least in the openings that I remember seeing him wearing this. I feel like I've seen him wearing this in posters, everything like that, and he has the 2 strings of hair coming down. So this is obviously like when he's a bit older, and he's still staring up at the stars in absolute awe. But when he's looking up, then he sees, like, it's this really cute moment where he opens his eyes and it's almost like he's astonished, and then he sees who I can imagine is his father. And then it's kind of like a callback to the beginning of this ending where he's reaching out, they're trying to reach each other. But I'm guessing somehow his father is trapped on the moon, or trapped in a satellite or something like that. and he has perhaps escaped the whole stone thing, or maybe something that his father did caused this whole thing where everyone turned to stone. I'm not sure. I haven't really seen anything to suggest that, but it is a potential theory. But yeah, the way this ending looks, where it almost looks like everything's crumpled up, it looks like a piece of paper that's been crumpled, you know, with all the wrinkle lines across it. It's such a beautiful, beautiful ending. The visuals, the song as well, absolutely stunning as well. I'm such a big fan of these endings so far. It's 2 for 2 right now, knocking it out of the park. And yeah, let's just, I guess, check out what ending number 3 has in store for us. I really am excited to see what this next one has, because these have been so fun to see so far. So let's go, ending number 3. Oh shit. Okay. I was speaking about Primitive not that long ago. Oh. The way the voice came through so clear once it started showing humans. I can't imagine that was incidental. Coincidental, rather. Rocket. All this technology. Are we going to see the world reset? He was turned to stone too? How did... I thought some people managed to escape it. It's a really good song. The guitars are going absolutely insane. Oh shit. Showing the advancement of time yet again. Oh, we're in winter. Oh. Time moves on. Oh shit, is that their little flag? So yeah, this one was really cool. I love that we started with showing, you know, the evolution of man, and we have this filter over the guy's voice, but as soon as like a modern man shows up, the voice comes through clear as day. And I think that was a really really interesting and fun way to kind of tell a story where we're gradually evolving, and even the voice, you know, I don't know how to explain that better, but I get it, and I think it was well done. And then we get to see young Senku traveling, seeing all these things that are very important to him, you know, like the research materials and scientific apparatus and stuff like that, as well as modern day technology with the phone and rockets and everything like that. And then we see him march on, and suddenly the world, instead of being white, black and white, I guess you could say, but there are shades of gray. I'm not really sure how to really call that look. Everything goes green. I don't know if this is kind of like how it actually looks when people are turned to stone, when the advent of that happens. But we also see our main character here, Senku, turn to stone. And that's really shocking to me, because I genuinely was under the belief that somehow he had managed to evade it, as well as some other characters. And what we see going forward is them coming to grips and coming to terms with that, and the fact that everyone's been turned to stone, and trying to rectify that, trying to change that. But obviously, we don't see that at all, because our main character is turned to stone, which I know I've already said it, really surprised me. I did not expect that at all. So I'm guessing that makes more sense than why the whole world looks overrun. The fact that he was indeed actually stone. So he was just like everyone else, just kind of frozen in place while the world around them changed. The world around them evolved, or devolved, you could say. Depends on how you look at it. You know, it looks like nature took over, the buildings collapsed, and technology and everything as we know it is no longer there, and we no longer see those apparatus flying through the air, and instead what we see are trees and nature. And I think that, yeah, the story that was being told in this ending was very effective. I think that it was really well told here, and I guess I wonder now what it is that causes him to break out, and if he is like the only person to break out, and anyone else that we see in the series is someone that he brought back, or if several characters all broke out at the same time somehow. I guess that's not something I would know the answer to, but it's just a really curious question that it leaves me with. I think it's really fun showing him march forward. It's basically a callback to what we saw before, where we saw humanity, the evolution of man, and then it eventually evolved into Senku, and Senku is continuing to march forward. But instead of marching from left to right, which, you know, would be related to the advancement of time, he's marching forward. So we are following him now. We're following him along. We're not watching him travel. We are actually literally following him on this journey as he runs towards the future, you could say, you know, runs towards what humanity has. And I think that, yeah, it was just a really, really cool way to do that. And then seeing him come into vision, come into color as he reaches the camp. Really great ending. I think that it was a really great way to show us all of this information, because I learned something from this ending, and I think that that's really cool. Visually, it's not my favorite compared to the previous two. Definitely not. Song is still absolutely banger and killer, though. It's 3 for 3 in terms of songs. The visuals I thought were really cool here, but, you know, I feel like the previous two were very artistic, and this one maybe took a different approach. And I think that it's cool seeing, you know, that not every ending follows the same format. I think that it's cool seeing a bit of variation, but I just wanted to share that in terms of, you know, the previous two, this is not quite up there for me when it comes to the visuals. But I am now ready to check out ending number 4. So here we go, ending 4 for Dr. Stone. Let's go. Ooh. Okay.
Sometimes I wonder again and again. Sometimes I wonder
Okay, go off.
again and again.
Oh, that breakdown, so good. I don't know what that is that's within them. It looks like cells or something. Is that the pirate? Looks like the hat. Oh, looking up again to the moon. Okay, so those are stars. Oh, oh shit. Yo, he's got a big butt there. What is happening? Why is that the first thing I saw? This is really cool. Oh, the smile. Is that the first time we've seen him smile in an ending? Oh, the boys are looking out towards the stars. Looks like the boys are ready to get it done. They are no longer traveling, doing you know, all their bullshit. Not that they were doing bullshit, you know what I mean? It looks like now they are actually buckling down and making plans to go to space. That's obviously what the main goal of in this series, perhaps, for Senku, where he wants to go to space, probably because of his father. But also seeing more than just him looking out towards the stars now is really indicative. Forgive me for butchering the word, but you know, it's really indicating that it's no longer just Senku's plan. It's maybe the plan for humanity, that they are all looking out now. All these boys, you know, they're all probably related somehow to getting us there. I don't know what a pirate is going to do. You know, maybe he's going to be the first space pirate, who knows. But I think that seeing them all in this kind of style and this kind of way that they're all looking out is just really cool, seeing that, you know, it's no longer just Senku that's looking out to the stars. And yeah, I guess this kind of imagery really kind of just tells us that, yes, Senku is a scientist, probably, and all this research he does, you know, is very important. But seeing the way it shows the stars within this serum, I wonder if this is perhaps a serum related to unstoning people, or perhaps what led to the stoning in the first place, because the color of the serum is pretty similar to the color that we saw when Senku was turned to stone in the previous ending, ending number 3. So I feel like this serum perhaps is related to stoning, whether it's the whole stone turning or stone unturning. I'm not obviously sure which, but seeing that the stars are within this, and it's probably Senku himself who concocted this serum, I think that it's maybe telling us that everything he does, everything he has done, has all been for this cause, has all been trying to get to the point where he can go to the moon, to this stars, to space, whatever it happens to be, escaping Earth. Earth is now being overrun. Earth might no longer be habitable, and so they're trying to get out of Earth. And yeah, I feel like for Senku, this image right here basically showcases his whole psyche and mentality throughout the entire series and throughout his whole upbringing, where he's aiming for the stars, but he has to do other stuff in order to get there. Seeing that everyone else is made up of stars, I don't know really what to make of that, but it's a really cool visual where we're seeing all these silhouettes, and then the art style for the characters as well is really pretty. It's reminding me of ending number 2, but not quite as, you know, artsy, I guess, because that one I feel like was really textured, whereas this one is a little less textured, but it's still a really great art style. I don't know what it is, but right here it just looks like he's got a real big juicy ass. I don't know why they drew it like this. I'm sure I'm not the first person to point this out, but that is a crazy shot right there of our main character. But he yet again is staring out towards the moon, and the way that this is framed, the way that the foliage, the trees, the grass, everything looks here is pretty stunning. I really like this kind of look. It's almost like a children's book, the kind of style that this has or something. But it's so pretty. And the way that the clouds move across the sky, it's great. And I love that every character here has a different color that it shows when it shows them. I actually do think I remember drawing on that when I was watching the openings. I was like, oh yeah, this guy, anytime he shows up, it shows purple. So, you know, purple is very important to him. You know, it's his whole color and what purple represents. Purple meaning some kind of mystery. This guy is probably very mysterious, but also perhaps some sort of, you know, you do associate purple with royalty. I don't know if I would really say this guy looks royal, but then who knows considering everything that's happened. But I think purple is also a color that's associated with high intelligence, I guess. So I guess that this guy is kind of the opposite, the complete opposite of Senku, where they're both almost opposing scientists, very smart minds, but I wonder if one is smart in a way that the other isn't, and that they kind of are a whole when they're brought together. And yeah, I just don't know really enough about the characters, but I think that the color play here is really cool. Seeing Senku's smile at the end here was really, really heartwarming, because I feel like this might be the first time we've seen him smile, at least in an ending that we're checking out today. So yeah, really great ending yet again here. I'm absolutely in awe of the creativity and the songs that we have heard here. Yeah, I guess it's now ready. I'm now ready to move on to ending number 5. So I'm excited to check out this next one. I think this is the final ending for Dr. Stone, and after that we are moving on to Future Science. So here we go, ending number 5 for Dr. Stone. So yeah, I imagine we're going to see a lot of the same characters, you know, the pirate and everything like that. So here we go. Oh, love a good piano. Oh, sand? Oh shit, we're actually seeing them create it? Oh, this is cool. Oh, I love it. This is stunning. Holy shit. You did that with sand? Wow. This is the first time we're hearing a female voice as well in an ending, while it's showing a lot of females in this. Wow, this looks so good. Holy shit, the detail! The detail these people are doing with sand? Wow. Oh, I love the instruments. Oh, that flute sounds so good. Wow. Look at them all. Holy shit. Oh, the way it showed him turning it into a smile. Oh, so good. Wow. Yeah, words cannot do justice for this ending right here. Holy shit. This ending is visually the best one of all. Like, I'm not going to beat around the bush. This is my favorite visually. I think the instrumentation as well of this one was so good. I know I said it when I checked out the first ending where I was like, I don't know what I was expecting, but it wasn't this. This is yet again like exactly that feeling that I felt. I don't know what I was expecting with these endings, but seeing the artistry, the creativity, the beauty in the work that is in this ending is honestly mind-blowing. It blew my mind. It really just took me in. It just really just made me so interested and invested so quickly. I think honestly this is one of the best looking endings I've probably ever seen. It's one of the most creative. It's one of the most fun to just watch. It's everything that I never realized I wanted to see in an ending. I don't know how that makes sense, but yeah, this I don't know when this released. I don't know what other endings released this year, but this would be probably very, very highly ranked on my favorites when it comes to endings for 20 whatever it was. I imagine this was like in the 2020s, but I don't know which year. I don't know if this was last year. I don't know if this was 2 years ago, 3 years ago, whatever, but 20 whatever. This is probably one of the best endings of that year and is such a joy to follow along. It's really cool immediately seeing actual real artistry, like someone actually creating this. I'm not saying that the other endings were not real art, but you know, like we're actually seeing it live. We're seeing someone actually create this in real time, and we're seeing the way that we're seeing the evolution of this art. And it's such a treat. It's such a joy. Everything looks beautiful. It looks very much like the anime, like the manga. I don't know how they managed to really capture the look so well in this ending. It is honestly incredible. Like the texture that they're able to get from this sand is insane. Like the shadowing, look at these leaves above this little onion person's head. Like the shadowing and everything, the texture makes it look 3D, makes it look like it's popping out, makes it look real. But to be able to do this with sand, I have no talent whatsoever when it comes to art, so I cannot imagine how much talent you need to have to be able to do this. And yeah, what a beautiful, beautiful ending here. And seeing all these visuals, seeing all this different cast of characters, seeing the girls this time. You know, the previous ending was all about the boys. This ending is all about the girls. And having a female singer over that female voice was the perfect choice. It was the right choice here because I don't think we have heard a female singer prior to this ending within this set of endings anyway. So I think that this was really well cast as a whole, like seeing the visuals as well as the voices and the group perhaps that produced this ending. But what I want to talk about now is right here. That flute is giving me life. It really sounds like I just went down the town to a local pub, just listening to live traditional Irish music, almost like just hearing that flute coming in. It's so good, and it really just made me so happy to be able to hear something like that within an anime ending. Yeah, it sounds very traditional. It sounds very much like something you would associate with a kind of older era perhaps. And you know, the fact that this series is one that is about, you know, going back, you know, in time almost, when it comes to like what they're experiencing and everything, and then hearing instruments that you associate with an older time. It's perfect. It's so good. And yeah, I really cannot get enough of this ending. The beauty and the details and everything, and the way that it's animated, even the fact that we're seeing animation within sand is really beautiful, and I can't get enough of it. Seeing the way that they gave the smile there, and then just ending with them rubbing it out, as if to say, you know, history is what you make of it, the story is what you make of it. We're here to draw it for you, we're here to create it for you, but it really, ultimately, it's up to you. This blank slate right here is your imagination and your takeaway of the series. So thank you for following. That's kind of the vibe I got for this, especially if this is technically the final ending for the main series. I don't know if actually what comes after with Future Science, whatever it was called, is actually part of the main series or not, but you know, this feels like a grand farewell, and what a great way to do it. I really love this so much. This is honestly one of my favorite endings that I have maybe ever seen. Honestly, I don't have enough praise for this, but we're just going to dive straight into this next one because we need to keep this ball rolling. So we're going to check out the opening for the most recent season of Dr. Stone. It's an opening this time, so forgive breaking up the format of endings, but here we go. Opening 1 for Future Science, Dr. Stone. Let's go. Ooh. This sounds very theatrical. It is. I love the lighting and everything. Oh, that's cool. We're going to Broadway. Oh. This is so fun. You can tell who's like serious and who isn't from the way they're acting. The way this looks is so cool. Who was that? This sounds familiar, like the singer's voice. Wow, the character designs are just so good. Them dancing. Look at the way the pirate guy is dancing. It's so funny. What is that guy back there? Something sinister is at play here. That was so fun. That was such a fun opening. So I'm not gonna lie, this opening is very, very much reminding me of the third ending for Shangri-La Frontier. And anyone that has seen that ending for Shangri-La Frontier, you'll understand. It is very also, you know, jazzy, and it sounds very theatrical, and also has the characters, you know, clapping and kind of dancing and stuff. So it's definitely giving me those vibes. I feel like this one has a lot more to offer perhaps than that one in terms of showcasing the story of the series, whereas that ending for Shangri-La Frontier felt very just like a fun ending. It didn't feel like it was related whatsoever to the actual story, but this one, it really feels like it's kind of giving us some clues, but also I'm not really picking up on what they're throwing down. I can see that the way the characters are presented kind of gives us a clue as to their personalities. So the main 5 boys that it just showed there, I imagine they're pretty fun personalities to be around, but then we start to see some other characters like these 3 right here that look very serious and they're very rigid, and we see a lot of that then going forward with these rigid characters. And then the next thing we see is this right here, which at first glance it was reminding me of the Predator like helmet that the Predators wear, obviously in Predator. Guess it's because of like this kind of like hair look and then the shape of the mask. I don't know what that's about, but then we see this guy right here who looks very ominous, and I don't know what those large like claw-like things are at the end of the gloves, but anytime you see a character like this, you know you can't trust them, right? Like that's just rule 101 in anime. Like Gendo cannot be trusted. He's always doing this shit, and he's got a shit-eating grin here in this, and honestly the way he looks is kind of reminding me of Senku. I don't know if that's fair. I know that not to throw Boichi under the rock, but there is a decent bit of same face when it comes to designs, so I don't know really if this is actually someone related to Senku or not, or if it's just me seeing seeing a design that I'm familiar with and kind of drawing comparison to that. I wonder if these claws are related to some kind of stone thing or something like that. I wonder if there's something injected into them. It looks like there's little holes like right at the base of them. So I wonder if there's just something about these claws or whatever that are pretty sinister, because he does look like a mean old guy. I don't know what it is about him, but I don't think I can trust him. Seeing all the characters come into view, glitching in and everything is pretty fun. It obviously ends then with Senku, and then we see them all dancing. And this was so fun because the pirate guy's dance right here is so funny, because I can just imagine, like, I'm remembering back when I would be going to clubs and stuff, you know, going out for the night, whatever it was, and just seeing, like, there was always that one guy that was dancing like a lunatic. And yeah, this dance right here from Pirate Guy is really just reminding me of that, and it's so funny. And also, like, seeing that it's all this science that is like the rave, the lights, the everything like that. They're raving to science, they're dancing, they're partying to the science. And I'm also now seeing that it's science future. I've been calling it future science this whole time. Also, I just saw Anly. I knew the singer's voice sounded familiar, I just wasn't able to place it, but that's so cool. I love a good Anly track. I feel like this is only like the third Anly track I've ever heard, perhaps. You know, I could name obviously Jujutsu Kaisen Ending 1 and Jujutsu Kaisen, and obviously Beastars as well, Opening 1, which was, those are both insane, incredible sequences, and this one is a really great one too. Anly really brings the heat every time, and this was so groovy, so fun. But then seeing them all dancing as this guy looms over them seems like a threat. He seems very ominous and very evil, like he's maybe one of the final bosses of this series, because he is kind of getting between Senku and the moon right here. He is literally closer to the moon than Senku is. It's almost like he's a roadblock and a barrier to the moon. And then we get to see other characters that look rather ominous as well. And yeah, I guess I wasn't able to deduct and theorize and analyze as much as I would have liked to from this ending, or this opening, sorry, but it is a really damn good one. It's so much fun and a huge asset to the great list of openings that Dr. Stone already had. So yeah, I think I'm ready to move on to the next one. I love this so much. I love how fun it sounded. But yeah, this guy is just a looming threat. He just looks like a huge beast, like looming over them. But I'm ready now to check out the final ending for this list of whatever we're checking out today, openings and endings. This final ending for Science Future. This is a hell of a lot of fun. This is a great video. I'm so glad that we were able to check this out today. I hope that you guys have enjoyed. If you have, please leave a like, subscribe if you haven't already, and comment down below letting me know your favorite that we checked out today. And yeah, here we go. Final ending, Dr. Stone, Science Future. Let's go. Oh, slower. Okay. I love the lo-fi sound. Okay, we're no longer in lo-fi. Okay. Wasn't expecting that transition change. Ooh. This is so smooth. I love that the singer's voice is almost like leading the transitions and the instrumentation and everything. I wish I knew anything about Taro. Oh, everything is in the palm of his hands. Oh. Very groovy yet again. Yeah, I think I was right about them being almost mirror opposites, because they were walking opposite paths from each other. But now they're running together. It's nice to see that. Oh! Go off, holy shit. Wow. If this is the final ending for Dr. Stone, this is a great, like, final image, I would say, because it's them all looking out, and then we see the moon right at the end there. So I think that this is a really positive ending, and I think that it's a really groovy, memorable one that, you know, it's very different from the previous endings, I would say. But I guess what I learned from this is that these two characters, this guy right here and Senku, it kind of boosts the theory that I had that they are kind of opposites, in the sense that one is really good at one thing and the other is really good at the other. They walk different paths in life, but ultimately when they come together, nothing can stop them, because yeah, we see him like drawing all these cards, and I wish I was able to like analyze the cards, but I really don't know Taro at all. I guess this guy's kind of like, you know, the middle ground. He's balanced, very stable. Yeah, I don't really know anything about Taro otherwise, so I'm not able to draw upon what the rest of these are. This shot right here, where it's focusing on him kind of doing, how do you even do that? Let me see if I can figure this out right now. This is embarrassing. Holy shit. Oh, I got it. Okay, you got to flip one of your hands. Seeing him do this shit, really curious, because he's turning himself into a card. It's almost like he didn't have a card of his own. Let me see. Did he have one? Oh, he did. He's right there on the left. But it's showing like the grand council around Senku here, right? So Senku's obviously the central focus. But then once it zooms in on him, he looks off to the left, and that's when we start to see Senku walking. And right as he's walking, it starts to show the guy we just saw walking literally the opposite way, walking from left to right, and he's walking along the top of the screen, opposed to, you know, how a normal person would walk. So he's a bit eccentric. He does things his own way. He does things differently, and I think this is a great way to showcase that. The song was very groovy. The song was very different. It really just almost didn't let me get comfortable. It was switching up so often that it was taking me on a journey, and I feel like that's kind of important for this series, because I feel like not everything goes smoothly in this series, and so it has to take you in the highs and lows, and really just take you on this journey that is all encompassing, and really very much a perfect encompassing song for probably this series. But yeah, I guess I don't really have much to say about this ending. I feel like, sadly, for the final ending, it's the one that I have the least to say about, because there's not as much jam-packed in here to kind of analyze or theorize over. But yeah, this is a really great one to end this as well. Like I said before, if you enjoyed this video, please leave a like and subscribe if you haven't already. Check out another video on the channel. I am checking out other series right now. At the time of uploading this, I am uploading my reactions to FREERIN, ReZero, and Steins Gate, as well as, you know, right now Sakamoto Days is still airing, but that will be finishing very soon. So yeah, feel free to stick around and check out another video. Thank you for watching, and I hope that you're able to have a great day today, and that you're able to take it easy. I will see you in the next one. Take care.